And the Giants blank the Friars tonight 3-0. This is Giants Roundup. It is the first day of summer, Thursday, June 21st. And of course, you can follow on Twitter, join the Crew Kite and Kite page on Facebook. And most importantly, please be kind and hit that subscribe button. Yes, Bumgarner looked like the ace tonight. He was excellent on the mound. Some great defense tonight. And the Giants take game one of a 4-game series, against the Friars. And Mark Melanson comes in and nails his first save as a returning from the disabled list. We'll see if question is Melanson the closer again? Too early to tell, but he looked all right tonight. He definitely some great defense tonight. Especially one in the fifth inning to say that saved a run. Great arm by Andrew McCutchen to nail down Perella to keep the shutout intact. And that certainly carried the momentum there. Great defense from Andrew McCutchen tonight. 2 walks tonight, just as good as hits. Joe Panic looks like he found his bat tonight. He goes 2 for 3. And the scoring started with Mad Bum sacrificing to score Panda. It makes it 1-0. And then the Giants will get some insurance runs in the 8th inning. One with a single by Buster Posey to score Alan Hansen. It makes it 2-0 after Hansen hit a beautiful triple to Triples Alley. And then McCutchen scores on an error by Perella. That makes it your final score of 3-0. But man, Bumgarner got his ERA down to 3.20, 8 strikeouts. This was classic Mad Bum tonight. Was it perfect? No, but it was definitely classic Mad Bum tonight. Tyson Ross, he was good in his own part for the Friars tonight. He just did not get any run support. 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 3 walks. Certainly, Tyson Ross, is going to have some trade value at the trade deadline. We'll see where he ends up going. But the debate's now going to be: is Mark Melanson the closer again? Maybe. Reyes Maranta, he was certainly excellent closing out yesterday after Dyson sputtered in the 9th inning. But I'd like to see Tony Watson see what he can do with closing. He did allow a hit, so he's not 100% yet. But you know what? If Melanson can close, go ahead. That's why Bochy's paid the big money to make the decisions, and why I'm an armchair vodcaster. But we'll see how short the leash will be for Melanson if Melanson starts blowing saves. And also, another interesting quirk tonight was Alan Hansen playing left field. Might we see more of this? This is an interesting question. Certainly, Mac Williamson's not been great since returning from the DL. Hunter Pence, not reliable either, so this could be an interesting move. He did go 1 for 4 tonight. And then certainly some fallout now came from from Tuesday's game of the Beanball War. Don Mattingly suspended 1 game. He'll serve it tomorrow night. And then Dan Straley suspended 5 games. He plans to appeal his suspension. But the guy who originated it, Hunter Strickland, he's apologized and made plans to look to take some anger management classes. I think if Strickland wants any way to return to the team, he's got to successfully complete anger management. I would make it mandatory before he's even activated off the roster that he completes anger management. And no, somebody compared apples and oranges with him and Brian Wilson. Yeah, Wilson got frustrated when he got blown, but he didn't. But he's not much of a hothead as Strickland. Strickland's chirping and fighting is not acceptable, and he's got a cool this. And maybe him realizing that he's got an anger issue is a step in the right direction. That is certain, but it's going to take a long time for Strickland to be trusted back into a closer role. But I would even consider reinstating him into the 25-man roster. He's got to complete anger management, prove it, and he's going to have to earn the trust of Bruce Bochy and the front office if he wants to get the opportunity to close. But who knows by then? We'll see if Hunter Strickland, if Mark Melanson can lock down the closing job or not. This will probably be a good fair or foul question tonight on the Giants Outsider Show with Grant and what's her name. I usually like to watch that after I'm done doing this. I'll be back in a second. There we go. But if I'm Bruce Bochy and Larry Baer, I'd tell Hunter Strickland, here's the list of things you got to do if you want to return back to the lineup. And that's how I'd feel right now, is that his trust has to be earned. Because I can't trust Strickland to do the right thing right now, and he's got to prove he can control his anger. But maybe step one is owning it up. Also, we had some roster moves that were made today. Brandon Crawford reinstated from the paternity list, and Kelby Tomlinson being sent back to Sacramento. And Crawford tonight back in the lineup. He went over 4. Tomorrow night's game is going to be a fun one. It's Beatles night tomorrow night at AT&T Park as they commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Beatles performing at Candlestick Park this year. And it should be a very fun night. This was an event I was hoping to do a live show at AT&T Park. It would have been so cool to do it. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out with the workload and stuff. And well, maybe next time around. We'll see what happens. Well, I'm kind of curious to see what the attendance was tonight. Tonight's attendance was 37,497. So definitely not a sellout, and there was certainly a lot of empty seats. But I think tomorrow night will be a sellout with the Beatles. With the Beatles night tomorrow night, that's certainly going to be a hit, and certainly they'll do a lot of things to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Beatles tour in San Francisco. So that's got to be real fun at 18. So that should be a very fun night for the crowd there. Oh, it was not. This was not Candlestick Park. That was 1966. No, but no, it should be a very fun tribute to the Beatles and definitely a great tie-in to Gay Pride. Sunday's the Gay Pride Parade in downtown San Francisco. Okay, Beatles didn't tour. I am so sorry. I goofed this. Yes, the Beatles didn't tour for 3 years between 1966 and 69. But I know the one at Candlestick Park was very memorable for Beatles fans. But it definitely is a good night to pay tribute to the Beatles and peace and love with it being Gay Pride weekend in San Francisco. And should be a fun show to watch. It should be a fun night. And we'll see if Kruk and Kipe dress up in mop tops tomorrow night, or well, maybe they're not going to be on tomorrow night. Tomorrow night it's an NBC Bay Area game, so it'll be on Antenna TV. So it's not going to be on CSN tomorrow on NBC Sports Bay Area tomorrow. It will be on NBC Bay Area, of course, in the Bay Area. KMAX 31 in Sacramento and KAIL 7.1 in Fresno. So check your local listings. It's on over-the-air antenna television tomorrow night. So we'll see if John Miller tomorrow night wears a mop top on his head, or definitely fits in with Gay Pride weekend. And your starters tomorrow night will be Chris Stratton going up against Clayton Richard. This one could be a pretty good matchup. Clayton Richard's actually been pretty good as of late. Could be another low scoring game. And Chris Stratton, he was definitely good the last time he played the Dodgers, so I'm hoping he can carry that into the Friars, and he's done pretty well against the San Diego Padres, so I would like to see Stratton get that ERA down a skosh. It was nice to see Bumgarner go 8 deep tonight, give that bullpen a nice rest. And now it's on to tomorrow night. Let's do the MLB roundup for tonight. In Orange County, the Angels beat the Blue Jays 8-5, taking the win. John Axford, no Ramirez, taking the loss. John Axford. Justin Anderson picks up his third save of the season for the Halos. Kendrys Morales goes 2 for 3 for the Blue Jays. Aaron Sanchez leaves the game after the first inning. With an injury. Looks like it was finger contusion for Aaron Sanchez tonight in that game. And John Lamb only goes 3 and a third, allows 3 earned runs. John Axford gives up 4 earned in 2 innings pitched. Danny Barnes an earned run in 2/3 of an inning pitched for Toronto. In the Bronx, the Yankees beat the Mariners 4-3, taking the win. Luis Severino taking the loss. James Paxton, who gives up 4 earned in 5 innings pitched tonight. And here comes the judge. Here comes the judge. That's right. Aaron Judge hits his 19th home run of the year. And Paxton was just not sharp tonight. His ERA goes up to 3.72, and the Mariners, I think, and the Yankees just proved their might in a. And this was a potential playoff preview between the. This could be your wild card game actually between the Mariners and the Yankees were able to jump on James Paxton. So this does not bode well for the Mariners tonight. Not a good loss for them, and they got to maybe consider upgrading the rotation at the trade deadline. In Boston, the Red Sox clobber the Twins 9-2, taking the win. Rick Porcello pitches 7 scoreless innings, taking the loss. Kyle Gibson. Xander Bogaerts hits a double. Mitch Moreland goes 2 for 3. Sandy Leon goes 2 for 2 for the Red Sox. And Ryan Presley gives up 3 earned for the Twins in 1/3 of an inning pitched. Matt Belisle 3 earned in 1 inning pitched for the Twins. In Denver, the Rockies beat the Mets 6-4, taking the win. Kyle Freeland taking the loss. Steven Matz. It looks like Jake McGee is now the closer for the Rockies, as Wade Davis is no longer the closer in Colorado, who's been struggling mightily as of late. Charlie Blackmon goes 2 for 3. And Nolan Arenado hits his 16th home run of the year, and that would be the difference maker for the Rockies tonight. Chris Rusin gives up an earned run in 1/3 of an inning pitched. I'm wondering if Wade Davis is hurt. Oh, it looks like they are going closer by committee in Colorado, as Wade Davis is out as the closer. So we'll see how long the closer by committee goes in Colorado. In Pittsburgh, the D-backs smashed the Pirates tonight 9-3, taking the win. Zach Godley taking the loss. Chad Kuhl, who gets pounded for 8 earned runs in 2 innings pitched. Raquel Marte goes 2 for 5. Alex Avila 2 for 4. Marte and Avila both hit home runs tonight. Marte's 6th, Avila's 3rd home run. And Cool just gets pounded for 8 earned. His ERA goes up to 4.56. And in DC, the Nationals beat the Orioles 4-2, taking the win. Calvin Herrera making his debut for the Nationals, taking the loss. Michael Givens, who gives up 2 earned and 2 innings pitched. Bryce Harper goes 1 for 1, but I think he left the game with and it was a home 1 for 1. And I think he left the game with an injury. Yeah, he left the game in with a knee injury.
I've got to tell you something important. It's not going to be easy. Quicksilver.
No, he didn't get injured. It looks like he just got walked twice. But that average is still at 213. Wilmer Defoe goes 2 for 3 for the Nationals. Scherzer was Scherzer tonight. 7 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. Kevin Gausman, okay numbers, 2 earned and 6 innings pitched. The 4 walks is not all that wonderful for.
Earned you unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
And in Cincinnati, the Reds beat the Cubbies 6-2, taking the win. Matt Harvey taking the loss. Kyle Hendricks. Jason Hayward goes 4 for 5. And Ruby Rosario gives up 2 earned and 1/3 of an inning pitch for the Cubbies. And it was a grand slam that ended up being the crusher tonight. Jesse Winker with a grand salami, his 4th home run of the year, and that was the difference maker tonight for the Reds. And in Milwaukee tonight, the Brewers crushed the Cardinals 11-3. Taking the win, Brett Suter. Taking the loss, Carlos Martinez, who gets pounded for 5 earned and 4 innings pitched. He gives up 5 earned, allows 7 runs. His ERA balloons to 3.24. John Gant, 4 unearned runs and 2 innings pitched. And the pitching has to be a concern for the Cardinals as they fall to 38-35. And now the Cardinals are 5.5 games out of the Central. I'm going to look at the wild card here. It's almost getting that time of year. We're almost getting into the playoff push. And they're only 2 back of the wild card. And speaking of the wild card, the Giants, 3.5 back of the division. 4 back of the division. 3.5 back of the wild card at this moment. But the Cardinals are 3-7 out of their last 10, and Carlos Martinez has struggled terribly as of late for the Cardinals. And this is going to be a good question for the Cardinals. Do they maybe start looking to make a run at trading for Cole Hamels? Cole Hamels is likely going to be the top prize at this year's trade deadline. Do the Cardinals maybe look to trade for Cole Hamels or trade for Chris Archer? Or maybe if the Mets make, say, the Mets decide to make Jacob DeGrom available at the trade deadline, do the Cardinals look to add an ace at the deadline with the pitching just being not all that wonderful? You don't have Alex Reyes. Carlos Martinez has not exactly been an ace. How much of the farm is the Cardinals willing to give up? And the other question is how much of a leash is Mike Matheny going to have? If they say really start scuffling here down the stretch, if they really start falling out of it, do they maybe fire Mike Matheny mid-season? The Cardinals are a mess, and I know DeWitt does not like firing. Last time DeWitt's fired a manager was 1994. So that tells you something there. He does not like cycling through managers, but the Cardinals I think, could be in big trouble at this point. And maybe they do make a run at. I feel they're going to probably make a run at Cole Hamels before the trade deadline concludes, and it's going to get interesting. But yeah, as I said, let's go back to the West here, though. The Giants are 4 games back of the D-backs. Not too bad, 38-38. Not too bad either. From his Colorado, they've gotten back into it. But San Diego, they've lost their last 5 games. And they're starting to look like a seller at the deadline. We'll see how much of a trade chip Tyson Ross is going to be. I think this is the year finally Clayton Richard gets traded in San Diego. And we'll see how well Clayton Richard does tomorrow night. I certainly think Richard's has rebounded and has some trade value this year. But I think I'm going to call it a night. Everybody have a great night. Have a great, happy Friday tomorrow. I'll be back on air tomorrow after the Giants game. And if you're going to the game, all you need is love. Love is all you need. Or or let it be. I think that's better for tomorrow night's game. Whispering words of wisdom. Let it be. Hopefully, let it be for tomorrow night's game, and hopefully it'll be a happy Beatles night at AT&T Park. Good night.